Zephyr adjusts the recording devices strapped to his slender frame as the transport ship shudders through hyperspace. The Galactic Council selected him for this mission because of his species' reputation for objective observation. The Cathani possessed 4 eyes that could process multiple spectrums of light simultaneously, making them excellent military analysts. Their emotional dampening glands also helped them remain calm during stressful situations. The mission briefing had been straightforward. Humanity recently joined the Galactic Council after demonstrating faster-than-light travel capability. However, their military effectiveness remained unknown. The Council needed detailed combat assessments before assigning humans to joint defense operations. Several member species expressed concerns about human psychological stability and tactical competence. Zephyr reviews his assignment parameters on a holographic display. He must observe human forces during their conflict with the Zorathi Empire, a hostile alien faction threatening Council space. The humans volunteered their military for evaluation, confident in their abilities. Most Council members viewed this as typical human arrogance. The transport ship drops out of hyperspace near the contested system. Through the viewport, Zephyr observes a massive human fleet arranged in precise formations. Their ships appear crude compared to elegant Council vessels, constructed from basic metals and ceramics rather than bio-grown materials. The designs seem purely functional, lacking aesthetic consideration entirely. "Attention, Cathani Observer Vessel," crackles a human voice through the communication system. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the UEF Defiant. We're honored to have Council representation during our operation. Please maintain a safe distance and keep your recording equipment active." Zephyr responds with the standard Council acknowledgement, surprised by the warmth in the human's voice. Most species addressing Council observers maintained formal, almost fearful tones. These humans sound genuinely pleased about being watched and judged. The Zorathi fleet emerges from the system's asteroid field in a thunderous display of advanced technology. Their bioships pulse with living energy, organic hulls shifting and adapting in real time. Zorathi vessels have terrorized Council space for decades, their living technology making them nearly impossible to defeat. Traditional Council tactics involve avoiding direct confrontation whenever possible. Zephyr activates his recording equipment, expecting to document another Council member species' inevitable retreat. The Zorathi possess superior numbers and technology. Any reasonable military commander would withdraw to fight another day. He prepares to record human tactical withdrawal procedures for his report. Instead, Admiral Chen's voice broadcasts across all human frequencies. "All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Today we fight not just for humanity, but for every species the Zorathi have terrorized. Show them what humans do to bullies. Weapons free. All ships advance." The human fleet surges forward in a coordinated assault that defies everything Zephyr knows about space combat. Instead of maintaining safe distances and exchanging long-range fire, human ships close directly with Zorathi vessels. Their crude-looking weapon systems unleash devastating barrages at point-blank range. Zephyr's 4 eyes track multiple engagements simultaneously. Human tactics seem completely insane by Council standards. They ram damaged ships into Zorathi vessels rather than retreating. Human crews deliberately detonate their own reactors to take out larger enemy ships. The apparent disregard for self-preservation horrifies and fascinates him. One particularly intense engagement catches his attention. A small human destroyer faces off against a massive Zorathi biocruiser. The destroyer should retreat immediately, preserving its crew for future battles. Instead, it accelerates directly toward the larger vessel while broadcasting human music across all frequencies. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the UEF Hammer," the destroyer's commander announces. "We're going to show these organic freaks what human steel can do. Lock and load, people. Today's a good day to make history." The destroyer weaves through bioweapon fire with impossible agility. Human pilots push their ships beyond design specifications, performing maneuvers that should tear their vessels apart. The Hammer's engines glow white-hot as it closes distance with the biocruiser. Zorathi organic weapons adapt quickly to human tactics, but humans adapt faster. They modify their weapons mid-battle, reroute power systems on the fly, and coordinate attacks using rapid-fire communications that confuse Zorathi tactical computers. The destroyer launches everything it has at the biocruiser's core sections. The Hammer's missiles penetrate the biocruiser's living hull, causing massive internal explosions. The organic ship writhes in apparent pain as its biological systems fail catastrophically. Captain Rodriguez doesn't celebrate the victory. Instead, he immediately moves to assist another human vessel under attack. Zephyr realizes he's witnessing something unprecedented. Human combat doctrine prioritizes aggressive offense over defensive maneuvering. They accept casualties that would be unthinkable to Council species, but their willingness to sacrifice themselves allows them to achieve impossible victories. Admiral Chen coordinates the overall battle from her flagship, issuing rapid commands to dozens of vessels simultaneously. Her tactical decisions seem reckless until Zephyr observes their cumulative effect. By accepting higher losses, human forces destroy Zorathi ships at an incredible rate. The organic vessels can't adapt fast enough to human unpredictability. Observer vessel. Admiral Chen contacts Zephyr directly. I hope you're getting good footage. We want the Council to see exactly what humans bring to the table. We don't fight pretty, but we fight to win. A massive Zorathi dreadnought emerges from behind a planetoid, its biohull bristling with living weapons. The organic ship dwarfs any human vessel in the fleet. Council protocols would require immediate tactical withdrawal from such overwhelming opposition. The dreadnought alone could destroy the entire human fleet. Admiral Chen studies the massive ship for exactly 3 seconds before issuing new orders. All ships, new target priority. That dreadnought thinks it's going to intimidate us. Let's introduce it to human hospitality. Attack pattern Delta 7, maximum aggression. The human fleet converges on the dreadnought like a pack of predators. Smaller ships distract its weapons while larger vessels position themselves for killing blows. Human commanders sacrifice their ships without hesitation to create openings for their allies. The coordination is beautiful and terrifying. Zephyr watches in amazement as human forces systematically dismantle the supposedly invincible dreadnought. They target its biological weak points with surgical precision while absorbing tremendous damage. The organic ship's adaptive defenses can't cope with humanity's relentless assault. The dreadnought's death throes send shockwaves through the remaining Zorathi fleet. These organic ships have never encountered such aggressive opposition. They begin to retreat, their biological instincts overriding tactical programming. The humans pursue mercilessly, allowing no enemy vessel to escape. Cease fire! Admiral Chen orders as the last Zorathi ship explodes in a ball of organic flame. Battle assessment, total victory. All ships report casualties and damage status. The human fleet has lost nearly 30% of its vessels, casualties that would cripple most Council militaries. Yet the survivors celebrate their victory with enthusiastic communications. They mourn their fallen comrades while simultaneously planning their next engagement against Zorathi forces. Zephyr reviews his recordings with growing unease. Everything he's witnessed contradicts Council military doctrine. Humans treat warfare as a test of will rather than a mathematical exercise in resource preservation. They're willing to die for abstract concepts like honor and protection of others. Admiral Chen contacts him again as the human fleet begins recovery operations. Observer Zephyr, we'll be moving to the next contested system in 6 hours. The Zorathi have a major staging area there. We'd be honored to have you continue documenting our operations. The invitation sounds sincere, but Zephyr detects something unsettling in her tone. Admiral Chen knows exactly how her forces performed. She understands the implications of human military doctrine for the rest of the galaxy. This isn't just a demonstration for the Council. As Zephyr prepares his initial report, he struggles to find adequate words to describe what he's witnessed. Human forces don't just fight wars. They wage campaigns of total psychological warfare against their enemies. The Zorathi fled not because they couldn't match human technology, but because they couldn't match human determination. The transport ship's navigation computer plots a course to the next system. Zephyr realizes he's committed to observing the remainder of this human military operation. The Council expects a complete assessment, and his scientific training demands thorough documentation. However, something deep in his consciousness warns him that witnessing human warfare might fundamentally change his understanding of conflict itself. The emotional dampening glands that keep his species calm during observations feel inadequate against the raw intensity of human combat operations. He's beginning to comprehend why the Council fears these newcomers. Admiral Chen's flagship takes point as the human fleet forms up for another hyperspace jump. Her crew works with efficient precision, preparing for their next engagement with practiced ease. These humans treat interstellar warfare as a routine military operation rather than a desperate struggle for survival. Zephyr activates his recording equipment for the next phase of observations, unaware that what he's about to witness will haunt him for the rest of his existence. The second system presents a nightmare scenario that makes Zephyr question the wisdom of continuing his observations. Intelligence reports indicate massive Zorathi biofactories converting captured worlds into organic weapon production facilities. Entire planetary populations serve as raw material for living ships and biological weapons. The Council has written off this system as irretrievably lost. Admiral Chen studies the tactical display with her senior officers, while Zephyr records their planning session. 3 inhabited worlds orbit the system's star, each one completely overrun by Zorathi biotechnology. Organic growth covers entire continents, pulsing with alien life as the biofactories consume everything in sight. Estimated civilian casualties if we proceed with orbital bombardment? Admiral Chen asks her intelligence officer. Approximately 40 million sentients across all 3 worlds, Admiral. The Zorathi have integrated survivors into their biomatrix. Surgical extraction would be impossible given current technology. Chen nods grimly while reviewing rescue protocols on her personal display. Standard Council procedure would involve mourning the lost populations and preventing further Zorathi expansion. The organic plague spreading across those worlds represents an acceptable loss in the larger strategic picture. Belay orbital bombardment, Admiral Chen announces. We're going down there and getting our people out. Her staff exchanges worried glances. Ground operations against established Zorathi bio-colonies have never succeeded. The organic technology adapts too quickly to conventional assault tactics. Even the most advanced Council forces avoid planetary combat with these creatures. Admiral, with respect, her tactical officer interjects, ground assault would result in catastrophic casualties. The bio-colonies will absorb our landing forces within hours. We should focus on preventing further system contamination. Chen's expression hardens in a way that makes Zephyr's emotional dampening glands work overtime. Something about human facial expressions when they reach certain emotional states triggers instinctive fear responses in other species. The Admiral looks like a predator preparing to hunt. Commander Harris, I want dropship assault plans for all 3 worlds simultaneously. Major Kowalski, prep the orbital marine battalions for bio-warfare operations. Dr. Reeves, verify our decontamination protocols are ready for massive refugee processing. The bridge erupts into controlled chaos as human officers execute orders that violate every principle of interstellar warfare. Zephyr records their preparations while struggling to understand their logic. These humans plan to assault heavily defended worlds to rescue populations that other species would consider lost causes. The first dropships launch toward the nearest bio-colony 12 hours later. Zephyr observes from the relative safety of the Admiral's flagship as human forces descend into organic hell. The Zorathi biocolonies detect incoming ships immediately, launching living interceptors that pulse with predatory hunger. Human pilots navigate through clouds of organic projectiles while their ships' defense systems burn attacking bioforms out of the sky. The dropships themselves appear crude compared to Council technology, but they're heavily armored and bristling with weapons designed specifically for this type of operation. "Phoenix 1 to Overwatch," crackles the voice of Major Sarah Kowalski, commanding the lead assault battalion. "Touching down in Sector 7. Biogrowth density is incredible down here. We're going to need everything we've got." Zephyr switches his visual feeds to follow the ground operation. What he sees defies every principle of military logic he's learned studying Council warfare. Human Marines advance through landscape that more closely resembles the inside of a living organism than a planetary surface. The biocolony has transformed entire cities into pulsing organic networks. Buildings grow rather than stand, their walls breathing with alien life. Streets have become arteries carrying unknown biological fluids. The very air seems alive with microscopic organisms designed to break down foreign matter. Major Kowalski's Marines move through this nightmare environment wearing sealed biosuits that protect them from organic contamination. Their weapons fire specialized ammunition designed to disrupt biological systems without triggering adaptive responses. Every piece of equipment reflects careful preparation for this specific mission. "Contact front," shouts a Marine sergeant as bioforms emerge from the living walls around them. The Zorathi defenders aren't traditional soldiers, but specialized organisms designed for combat. They move with liquid grace, their forms shifting to adapt to human tactics in real time. The firefight that follows horrifies Zephyr on multiple levels. Human weapons tear through bioforms that immediately begin regenerating from their wounds. The organic defenders launch corrosive projectiles that eat through Marine armor within seconds. Both sides fight with desperate ferocity in an environment designed to kill everything foreign. Yet the humans continue advancing despite terrible casualties. They leap across gaps in the organic landscape while covering each other with suppressing fire. When Marines fall to bioweapon attacks, their squad mates immediately move to retrieve them. No human gets left behind, regardless of mission risk. "Kowalski to all units," the Major broadcasts across Marine frequencies. "Civilian population detected in Bioprocessing Center Alpha. We're going in hard and fast. Remember your extraction training." The assault on the Bioprocessing Center becomes the most intense combat Zephyr has ever witnessed. Human Marines breach organic barriers using explosive charges that disrupt biological systems. They advance through corridors that literally try to digest them while fighting bioforms specifically designed to protect Zorathi assets. Inside the processing center, Zephyr's cameras capture images that will haunt his dreams. Thousands of sentient beings from multiple species hang suspended in organic pods, their bodies partially integrated into Zorathi biotechnology. The aliens use captured populations as living computers and organic component factories. "Medical teams to the front," Major Kowalski orders as Marines begin cutting prisoners free from their organic prisons. "Full decontamination protocols on all rescued civilians. We're not leaving anyone in this hell." The rescue operation proceeds with clockwork efficiency despite constant bioform attacks. Human medics work to save beings from species they've never encountered before, using universal medical principles and adaptive equipment. Marines establish defensive perimeters, while evacuation teams prepare rescued civilians for transport. Admiral Chen monitors the operation from her flagship, coordinating simultaneous assaults on all three worlds. Human forces have divided their fleet to maximize rescue potential, accepting strategic weakness to save more lives. The decision flies in the face of military logic but produces incredible results. "Admiral, We're detecting massive bioform mobilization across all three worlds, reports her tactical officer. The colonies are releasing everything they've got. Our ground teams are going to be overwhelmed. Chen studies the tactical displays showing thousands of bioforms converging on human landing zones. Any rational commander would order immediate evacuation to preserve military assets. The rescue operation has already saved more lives than anyone thought possible. All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Prepare for sustained orbital bombardment of bioform concentration areas. We're going to give our people the cover they need to finish their job. The human fleet opens fire with weapons designed specifically for biowarfare. Instead of traditional energy beams or kinetic projectiles, they launch biological disruptors that cause Zorathi organisms to turn against each other. The organic defenders begin attacking their own biocolonies as their neural networks collapse. Zephyr realizes he's witnessing the culmination of extensive human research into Zorathi biology. These weapons didn't exist at the start of the conflict. Human scientists must have analyzed captured bioforms to develop countermeasures in real time. Their adaptability surpasses even the Zorathi themselves. The ground operations conclude 18 hours later with the complete evacuation of all three biocolonies. Human losses exceed 50% of the assault force, casualties that would end most military campaigns permanently. Yet the survivors celebrate their success while mourning their fallen comrades. Final count, 437,000 civilians recovered across all three worlds, Major Kowalski reports to Admiral Chen. Biocontamination levels are manageable with proper medical treatment. We'll have them healthy and free within days. Admiral Chen's response surprises Zephyr with its emotional intensity. The Admiral's voice breaks slightly as she addresses her surviving forces. Outstanding work, people. Those civilians are alive because of your courage and sacrifice. The families of our fallen can be proud of what their loved ones accomplished today. The human fleet begins withdrawal procedures as biocolony collapse accelerates across all three worlds. Without steady food sources from captured populations, the organic systems begin consuming themselves. The Zorathi lose 3 major production facilities and nearly 500,000 potential biocomponents. Zephyr reviews his recordings while struggling to process what he's witnessed. Human military doctrine prioritizes life preservation over strategic advantage. They accept massive casualties to save populations that other species would consider expendable. Their emotional investment in individual lives seems to make them stronger rather than weaker. Observer Zephyr, Admiral Chen contacts him as the fleet prepares for its final hyperspace jump. We've got one more operation before this campaign concludes. The Zorathi home fleet is massing for a major offensive. We're going to stop them before they reach Council space. The invitation carries an ominous undertone that makes Zephyr's skin crawl. Admiral Chen knows exactly what her forces have accomplished during this campaign. The humans have demonstrated military capabilities that exceed anything in Council archives. They fight wars the way most species fight natural disasters. As the transport ship follows the human fleet toward their final engagement, Zephyr begins composing his preliminary report to the Council. How does he explain that humanity treats interstellar warfare as a moral crusade rather than a strategic necessity? Their willingness to die for abstract principles makes them nearly unstoppable. The navigation computer displays their destination coordinates. According to intelligence reports, the Zorathi are assembling their largest fleet in decades for a decisive strike against Council worlds. Previous estimates suggested this force could overwhelm any conventional defense. Zephyr activates his recording equipment for what he hopes will be his final observations of human military operations. Something in Admiral Chen's tone suggested the next engagement would be unlike anything he's witnessed so far. He's beginning to understand why some council members fear humanity more than they fear the Zorathi. The final hyperspace jump delivers the human fleet into a cosmic nightmare that exceeds Zephyr's worst expectations. The Zorathi have assembled over 2,000 bioships around a massive organic construct that pulses with malevolent intelligence. The structure appears to be growing new vessels in real time, spawning attack craft from biological pods scattered across its surface. Admiral Chen studies the tactical display with her senior staff, while Zephyr records their final planning session. The human fleet numbers barely 300 ships after their previous engagements. By any reasonable calculation, they face impossible odds against an enemy force specifically designed to overwhelm Council defenses. Intelligence assessment of the primary target? Admiral Chen requests from her analysis team. Bioconstruct designation Omega appears to be a strategic command organism, her intelligence officer reports. It's coordinating the entire Zorathi offensive fleet while simultaneously producing new attack vessels. Destroying it would cripple their military capability for decades. Chen nods while reviewing classified files on her personal display. Zephyr notices her accessing weapons specifications that carry Council security classifications far above his clearance level. The humans have been holding back capabilities during their previous engagements. Admiral, recommend we contact the Council for immediate reinforcement, suggests her tactical officer. This engagement exceeds our mission parameters. We've already proven human military effectiveness. Withdrawal would be strategically sound. Chen's expression shifts into what Zephyr has learned to recognize as humanity's most dangerous emotional state. She looks calm and completely focused, but her eyes hold a predatory intensity that makes his survival instincts scream warnings. Admiral Chen has reached a decision that will terrify everyone present. Commander Harris, I want firing solutions on the Omega construct using our special delivery system. Major Kowalski, prepare Alpha Team for boarding operations. Dr. Reeves, verify our biological warfare protocols are ready for maximum deployment. The bridge falls silent as human officers process orders that violate every principle of space combat. Zephyr realizes Admiral Chen intends to board the Omega construct with a small team while the main fleet engages 2,000 bioships simultaneously. The tactical insanity of this plan defies description. Admiral, boarding operations against a bioconstruct of this magnitude would be suicide, her medical officer protests. We have no data on internal conditions or defensive measures. The organic environment could kill our people within minutes. Chen activates her command display to show specifications for equipment Zephyr has never seen before. The humans have developed bio-warfare capabilities that rival anything in Council archives. Their scientists have created weapons specifically designed to fight biological entities at the cellular level. The Omega construct represents the Zorathi's greatest strategic asset. Admiral Chen explains to her officers. If we destroy it here, we end their expansion permanently. No more biocolonies, no more converted worlds, no more enslaved populations. This is our chance to finish them forever. The human fleet begins final combat preparations as Zorathi bioships move to intercept. Zephyr observes their battle formations with growing horror. The organic vessels outnumber human ships 7-1, each one pulsing with adaptive weaponry. Previous encounters suggest the Zorathi have learned to counter human tactics. All ships. This is Admiral Chen. Her voice broadcasts across fleet frequencies. Today, we fight not just for humanity, but for every species these monsters have consumed. We're going to show them what happens when predators meet apex predators. Give them hell. The engagement begins with coordinated human missile strikes against the outer Zorathi formations. However, their weapons carry biological payloads that cause immediate catastrophic reactions in the bioships. Entire organic vessels begin dissolving as their cellular structure breaks down at the molecular level. Zephyr realizes the humans have weaponized cellular biology itself. Their missiles deliver engineered viruses that specifically target Zorathi organic technology. The bioships can't adapt quickly enough to biological attacks designed by human scientists who understand organic systems better than their creators. Admiral Chen's flagship leads a precision strike toward the Omega construct while her fleet engages the main Zorathi force. The massive bioorganism detects their approach and launches specialized defenders that dwarf anything Zephyr has seen before. These organic guardians appear specifically designed to destroy capital ships. "Phoenix team to Defiant," reports Major Kowalski from her boarding craft. "Approaching Omega construct surface. Biosignatures are incredible. This thing is more than just a ship. It's a living entity with its own consciousness." The boarding operation proceeds with mechanical precision, despite hostile biological defenses. Human Marines use specialized equipment to penetrate organic barriers that would be impermeable to conventional forces. Their biosuits protect them from an internal environment designed to break down foreign matter. Zephyr switches his monitoring systems to follow the boarding team through the Omega construct's interior. What his cameras reveal defies every principle of ship design he understands. The corridors pulse with alien intelligence, walls shifting to track human movement. The entire structure appears to be aware of their presence. "Contact front." Major Kowalski's voice crackles through interference as bioforms emerge from the living walls. These defenders aren't separate organisms, but extensions of the construct itself. They attack with coordinated intelligence that suggests direct control by the Omega entity. The firefight inside the construct becomes a battle between human technology and living architecture. Marines advance through corridors that try to digest them while fighting defenders that regenerate instantly from any damage. Their specialized weapons disrupt biological systems, but the construct adapts its defenses in real time. "Kowalski to Admiral Chen," the Major reports while her team fights deeper into the organic structure. "We've located what appears to be the primary neural center. It's massive, Admiral. This construct is more intelligent than we anticipated." Admiral Chen monitors the boarding operation while coordinating the main fleet engagement. Human forces have adapted their tactics to exploit Zorathi biological vulnerabilities, but the organic ships are learning to counter their strategies. The battle has become a test of adaptive capability between two apex predator species. "Admiral, detecting massive bioform reinforcement approaching from the outer system," reports her tactical officer. "Estimated arrival in 30 minutes. Additional Zorathi fleet numbering over 5,000 vessels." The tactical situation becomes hopeless by any conventional analysis. Human forces face complete annihilation from overwhelming numbers of adaptive bioships. Yet Admiral Chen shows no signs of concern as she reviews her special weapons authorization codes. "All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Execute Protocol Omega immediately. Full biological warfare deployment authorized. Show these organics what human science can accomplish." The human fleet unleashes weapons that transform the battlefield into a biological nightmare. Instead of traditional explosives, their ships launch engineered organisms that consume Zorathi biotechnology from the inside out. The organic vessels begin cannibalizing each other as human-designed parasites spread through their formations. Zephyr watches in fascination and horror as biological warfare reaches levels that exceed anything in galactic history. Human scientists have created synthetic life forms specifically designed to destroy the Zorathi. The organic ships try to adapt, but human bioweapons evolve faster than their targets. Inside the Omega construct, Major Kowalski's team reaches the central neural chamber. Zephyr's cameras reveal a massive organic brain that coordinates the entire Zorathi offensive capability. The structure pulses with alien intelligence that has consumed countless worlds and species. "Deploying neural disruptor," Major Kowalski reports as her team plants specialized charges around the brain chamber. This should sever its connection to the entire biofleet. 60 seconds to detonation. The Omega construct realizes the threat and launches desperate defensive measures. Organic barriers seal off the neural chamber while bioforms converge on the human team. The living ship tries to crush the Marines by contracting its internal passages. 30 seconds to neural collapse, Kowalski announces while her team fights through waves of organic defenders. All teams prepare for emergency extraction. This construct is going to die violently. Admiral Chen coordinates the evacuation while maintaining fleet engagement with increasingly desperate Zorathi forces. The bioships have begun attacking each other as human parasites spread through their formations. Organic technology turns against itself as synthetic viruses corrupt biological programming. The neural disruptor detonates inside the Omega construct with devastating results. The massive bioorganism convulses as its central intelligence dies, sending shockwaves through every connected Zorathi vessel. Bioships across the battlefield suddenly lose coordination and begin attacking random targets. Phoenix team extracted successfully, reports the evacuation shuttle pilot. Major Kowalski and her people are aboard and alive. The construct is experiencing total neural collapse. The Omega construct dies in a spectacular display of biological destruction. Its massive form breaks apart as organic systems consume themselves without central coordination. The death throes of the bioorganism create a shock wave that destroys hundreds of nearby Zorathi vessels. The remaining biofleet attempts to retreat, but human parasites have infected most of their ships. Organic vessels tear themselves apart as synthetic organisms designed by human scientists consume their biological components. The Zorathi face extinction from their own adaptive technology turned against them. Battle assessment. Total strategic victory, Admiral Chen announces to her surviving forces. The Zorathi offensive capability has been permanently eliminated. No organic vessels escape to threaten Council space. Zephyr reviews his recordings while struggling to process the implications of what he's witnessed. Humanity doesn't just fight wars. They wage campaigns of total biological warfare that exceed anything in galactic history. Their willingness to weaponize life itself makes them the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Observer Zephyr, Admiral Chen contacts him as the human fleet begins departure procedures. I trust your recordings will give the Council an accurate assessment of human military capabilities. We're honored to serve alongside our new allies. The Admiral's tone carries implications that make Zephyr's emotional dampening glands completely fail. She knows exactly what her forces have demonstrated during this campaign. The humans have proven they can destroy any enemy through sheer determination and adaptive capability. As the transport ship begins its journey back to Council space, Zephyr realizes his mission has fundamentally changed his understanding of interstellar warfare. Humanity treats conflict as a moral crusade where victory justifies any sacrifice. Their emotional investment in abstract principles makes them nearly unstoppable. The preliminary report he must submit to the Council will recommend immediate integration of human forces into all defensive operations. However, Zephyr knows this assessment comes with terrifying implications. Humanity's willingness to weaponize biology itself suggests they could threaten any species that opposes them. He activates his personal recording system for a final classified addendum that will never appear in official reports. The Council must understand that humanity represents both the galaxy's greatest defense and its most dangerous potential threat. Their capacity for biological warfare exceeds anything in known space. The transport ship jumps to hyperspace, carrying recordings that will reshape galactic politics forever. Zephyr closes his 4 eyes and tries to forget the images of human Marines fighting through living hell to save strangers they'd never met. Some memories are too intense, even for Cathani emotional dampening glands. He was sent to observe humans in battle, and now he wishes he'd never gone.